Hi everyone, I'm Lisa, your cat. Hey, come back! Why are you being such a cat? Why does your cat always hide? Today, I'm going to tell you the 6 things your cat craves most from you, especially that last one. Almost every cat owner makes this mistake every single day about it. Make sure you stick around until the very end.
If your cat could tell you just one thing in its entire life, it would be this. Your cat has been waiting its entire life for you to do one specific thing. You've been doing the opposite every single day without even knowing it. Most owners believe they're doing everything right. But there are things your cat quietly needs from you that almost no one talks about. The silence around them is costing you the bond you think you already have. Stay with me because by the end of this, you're going to see your cat in a way you never have before. Here is what makes this so hard to hear. These aren't complicated things. They're not expensive. They're not time consuming. But if you keep getting them wrong, and most owners do without a single clue, your cat starts to lose faith that you'll ever understand them. And a cat who has lost that faith doesn't show it with anger. They show it with distance, with a tail that swishes a little less, with eyes that stop seeking yours. And by the time most owners notice, years have already passed. Here is the first thing your cat has been waiting for. Give them a space they truly own. Has your cat ever crawled under the bed, wedged itself behind the couch, or pressed into the corner of a room when things got loud or chaotic? And you pulled them out because you thought something was wrong. Most owners do. They interpret it as a problem to fix. But in that moment, your cat wasn't asking for help. They were asking for exactly one thing, and you took it away. Cats are descended from animals that use dens for survival. Not occasionally, every single day. A den wasn't a luxury for a wild cat. It was the difference between feeling safe and feeling exposed. That instinct didn't disappear when your cat started living in your home. It is still there, running in the background of every moment they feel overwhelmed. Research has found that cats provided with a consistent enclosed resting space show lower stress levels. That is not a comfort preference. That is a biological need your cat is born with. Now, look around your home. If your cat has no spot that is truly theirs, no box with a blanket, no corner of a room they can retreat to without being followed or moved, then every stressful moment in your home is a storm your cat is weathering completely alone. They are not being dramatic when they hide. They are doing what every instinct in their body is screaming at them to do. A box with the door left open, a cat bed tucked into a quiet corner, a blanket under a table that smells like them. That is all it takes, and when a cat has that space, a place that is genuinely consistently theirs, something shifts. They stop disappearing into the walls of your home. They start choosing to be present because presence requires safety, and safety requires a place to call their own. And if this one surprised you, stay with me because the one coming up in just a moment is the reason so many cats develop anxiety. Their owners never connect to anything they did wrong. Stop touching them when they didn't ask. Be honest. When your cat is lying on the floor and you walk past, do you reach down and pet them? When they're sitting quietly and you sit beside them, do your hands automatically find their head? Of course they do. You love your cat. But here is what that moment looks like from their side. Cats have a concept researchers call personal space and autonomy, and it matters far more to them than most owners realize. Every time you initiate contact your cat didn't ask for, you're making a small deposit into something called learned helplessness. 1 or 2 moments, no big deal. But dozens of uninvited touches a day, week after week, teaches your cat that their body is not their own. That signals from them don't matter, that you will do what you want regardless of what they communicate. A study found that cats who had more control over interactions with their owners showed significantly fewer signs of anxiety and formed stronger social bonds. The science is saying something most owners never want to hear. More isn't more. Patience is more. So what does a cat actually look like when they're asking? It is the head resting on your knee. It is the nose pushing under your hand. It is the slow walk toward you that ends with them pressing their side against your leg. Those are invitations. Those are your cat choosing you. Everything else, every reach you initiate, is you making that choice for them. The hardest part of this isn't knowing it. It is doing it. Keeping your hand still when your cat walks past. Watching them lie down without immediately going to them. It feels like withholding love. But the moment you stop reaching and start waiting, something remarkable happens. Your cat starts coming to you more. Not because you trained them to, but because you became the kind of person they feel safe moving toward. Keep watching because what is coming up next is something almost every cat owner gets completely backwards, and it is quietly damaging the trust you've spent years trying to build. Get on the floor with them. When did you last sit on the floor with your cat? Not to clean something up, not to put their collar on, not to examine a scratch on their paw, just to be there at their level with no agenda. Think about your cat's daily reality for a second. You are enormous. From a cat's perspective, you are a towering, fast-moving figure who controls food doors, schedules, and attention. Research has shown that cats read body posture and physical size as signals of threat level, the same way their ancestors did in the wild. Every time you stand over them, even with the best intentions in the world, part of your cat's nervous system is calculating whether this moment is safe. But here is what happens when you lower yourself to the floor. That calculation changes completely. Studies have found that cats approach humans in crouched or seated positions significantly faster and with more relaxed body language. The posture communicates something words never could. I am not a threat right now. I am here to be with you. Try it today. Go into whatever room your cat is resting in. Sit on the floor a few feet away from them and do nothing. Don't call them. Don't pat the ground. Don't make a sound. Just exist in their space at their height and watch what happens. Most cats will look at you differently almost immediately. Some will get up and slowly walk over. Others will simply relax deeper because for the first time in a long time, they don't need to monitor you. This is especially powerful if you have a rescue cat, a shy cat, or a cat who flinches when people move too fast around them. You could spend months trying to build their confidence with treats and commands. Or you can sit on the floor for 10 minutes a day and let your body say what words never can. Your cat has been waiting for you to come down to their world. Most owners never think to do it. Don't be most owners. And stick around because the next one on this list is one that virtually every cat owner does wrong every single day. And it is one of the main reasons cats develop reactive behavior, that their owners never connect to anything at home. Let them finish the sniff. How many times have you pulled your cat away from a smell on the window or furniture? How many times have you moved them when they wanted to investigate a new box, a leaf, or a bug? If you're like most owners, the answer is countless. And every single one of those moments cost your cat something real. A cat's whiskers and nose are super powerful. When your cat puts their nose to something, they are not dawdling. They are reading an entire world of information. Stopping that process mid-read is like someone closing a book 2 pages before the ending every single time, every single day. Research has found that cats who were allowed extended sniffing opportunities showed lower levels of stress hormones. Sniffing is not just something cats enjoy. It is a core mechanism through which they regulate their emotional state. When you rush your cat through their exploration, you're cutting off one of the primary ways they process stress. The fix is not complicated. Slow down. Give them time and let them lead. 3 minutes at a single spot might feel pointless to you. To your cat, it is the equivalent of finally getting to finish a conversation they've been starting and stopping their whole life. Stay with me because what is coming next is the one most owners think they're already doing right. But almost none of them are. Build a rhythm they can count on. Does your cat wait by the door right before you usually get home? Even on days when you're late? Do they show up at the kitchen at feeding time with more accuracy than your phone's alarm? That is not a cute quirk. That is your cat showing you what they need most from you, and most owners mistake it for something they're giving when actually they're taking it away without realizing. Cats don't experience time the way we do. They experience time in patterns. Your cat has mapped their entire emotional world around those rhythms. And you are the center of that map. When the map holds, your cat feels safe. When it breaks even slightly, the ground shifts beneath them in a way that has no explanation. A study found that unpredictable daily routines were among the most significant contributors to chronic anxiety in domestic cats. The disruptions they're measuring aren't dramatic ones. They're feeding times that vary by an hour, place sessions that disappear for a few days, owners who come home at wildly different times each night. To you, that is just life. To your cat, the one thing in their world they could count on just became something they can't. The fix isn't becoming robotic. It is being consistent in the moments that matter most to them. Feed them around the same time each day. Have a play session. They can anticipate. Even something as simple as sitting in the same chair every evening gives your cat a rhythm they can exhale into. Here is what most owners completely miss. They want a cat who is calmer, more affectionate, less reactive, but they never connect that to routine. A cat who doesn't know what is coming next is a cat whose nervous system is always partially activated. And a cat who is always partially activated doesn't have the capacity to fully connect with you, even when you're right there in the same room, even when you're doing everything else right. Routine is what takes the guard down. And a cat whose guard is down is a cat who can finally love you with their whole heart. One more. And this last one is the one that hits hardest, because you've had the chance to do it every single day, and no one ever told you it mattered. Talk to them out loud, for real. Do you talk to your cat? Not commands. Actually talk to them the way you talk to someone you share your life with. Most people admit they do this when no one's watching, and then they feel slightly embarrassed about it. They shouldn't. Because it turns out that instinct you've been quietly following is one of the most important things you can do for your cat. Here is something that gets overlooked in almost every conversation about cat behavior. Cats have lived alongside humans for thousands of years. In that time, they didn't just learn to tolerate us. They evolved to read us, our faces, our gestures, our moods, and above all, our voices. No other domesticated animal has developed this capacity to the same degree. Your cat's brain has been shaped across thousands of generations, specifically to respond to the human voice. Research found that cats process speech using the same brain structures distinguishing both the meaning of words and the emotional tone. They're not just hearing sound, they're parsing communication. A separate study found that cats respond differently to speech directed at them versus speech directed at other people. Even when the words are identical, they know when you're talking to them. Your cat has been listening this whole time. The question is whether you've been speaking. You don't need to be eloquent. You don't need a script. Tell them good morning when you get up. Narrate what you're making for dinner. Talk to them in the car on the walk when you get home from a day that wore you out. Because every time you do, you're doing something that goes far deeper than communication. You're including them. You're treating them like what they actually are. Not a pet you manage, but a living being who has oriented their entire existence around you. And when a cat knows they're seen, really seen, not just fed and cleaned, and managed, something opens up in them that no toy or treat ever could. Most owners spend years waiting for their cat to give them more. More closeness, more calm, more connection. But connection isn't something you wait for. It is something you build one moment at a time with patience and presence, and the willingness to finally speak the language your cat has been fluent in since the day they were born. Your cat is not asking for perfection. They're asking for you. The real you. The one who gives them space and waits and gets down to their level and lets them explore and keeps the routine and talks to them. They've been asking their whole life. If this changed how you see your cat today, share it with someone who loves their cat and doesn't know any of this yet. And subscribe to our channel because every week we go deeper into the world your cat lives in so you can finally meet them there.